Highlights then from the opening round of the RaceRoom Ranked Championship, Season 2 of 2022, the GT3 Pro Series. It was Max Pfeiffer starting from pole position, Axel Vermeulen trying to attack on the run down towards the first corner. But as they head through, it was a bit of a slow run from our race leader of Max Pfeiffer, and the pressure was building from behind, not only from the likes of Axel Vermeulen, but also from Mosin as well. A position dropped from Axel Vermeulen after a slow run through the first corner. It was actually Daniel Parvin who got up in the second position before a bit of contact down to the hairpin. Everyone going side by side trying to find their own little bit of track position. This a bit further back with Nico Sernel trying to get his way past Yuval Rosen as they head down towards the arena section. Luciano Wittfert in the middle as Rokas de B. Stredermans also trying to find their way through in that Audi R8. A little bit of a cluster here. Rosen on the outside, Luciano Wittfert on the inside coming into Mobile 1, and it was a big spin for Luciano Wittfert, moving him down and outside of the top 10. Rosen had to come into the pit lane after jumping the race start, and he would drop the way down the order. After the spin, Wittfert was straight back on the attack, getting past Alessandro Botti, coming down into the arena section, picking off them one by one as we run on board with Hout, losing out to Straitemans, losing out to Zabdir, and losing out to Steph Kramers as well, who would fire his way around the outside of Mobile 1. A costly mistake there, just getting on the power a little bit too early. This about 5th position on the road as Rokas de B would get his way through after a bit of a mistake from Alessandro Botti getting into the side of Daniel Parvin, coming through the hairpin, opening up the door. A little bit too much power though from Botti, straight to the side of Rokas de B, and then this moment is coming straight across the nose of Alessandro Botti. Straight after it was Daniel Parvin. The two Callaways would go for a sizable spin and drop right the way outside of the top 10. Luciano Wittfert continues his march up the order, getting past Roland Sen into the final corner. As we check back on our race leader, Max Pfeiffer leading comfortably from the trio that are battling over the podium. Alex Mosin just leading that one from Axel Vermeulen, just hanging on from Nico Sernel at the moment. The trio would stay quite close, but no battling just yet as we ride on board with Hout. A bit of a mistake from Grotti going in a little bit too deep into the hairpin. It would open up the opportunity for Hout to send it down the inside coming into the arena section, and that Porsche would drop back a position. Started out the race really strong, moving inside the top 10 comfortably, but after moves like this, you just move your way back. Eventually the podium battle would start to ignite. Vermeulen straight down the inside of Alex Mosin, coming down into the hairpin, and a bit of a dive. Nico Sernel was coming back into it as well, but by the time they got to Mobile 1, Vermeulen was taking a very wide line, and in fact it was too wide, out onto the curb. A little bit of oversteer as well. He dropped back to 4th. He'd eventually get his way back up in the 3rd position by making a little bit of a pass on Nico Sernel after a mistake. Blankenberg straight around the outside though of Grutter at the hairpin. Grutter going backwards a little bit in this race, but Luciano Wittfert was one that was going forward, and as he would go through the kink on the inside of Nicholas Brown. It was another spin, however, would somehow magically get back going straight in the direction, only losing around about a second. Vermeulen straight on the attack again. Mosin, door open, position gained, or was it just yet? As Mosin was trying to fight his way back, he was staying on the outside of Vermeulen, wasn't able to make that one stick, and then the pit window was open. Zabdir was the first one to bite, coming straight down onto the pit lane in the middle half of this race, as Luciano Wittfert finally got back up to the rear end of Nicholas Brown, straight down the inside, going into the hairpin. Position ticked off, moving his way inside the top 10. Had his eyes, though, on Grutter, and a carbon copy move of the previous lap would be straight down the inside, passing Grutter. A little bit further ahead as Blankenberg was trying to get past Steph Kramers coming through the arena section, got to the outside and Luciano Wittfert was queuing to try and find his way past and into this battle. He'd make a little bit of contact with Blankenberg coming out of the arena section. They'd head side by side through Mobile 1. Blankenberg on the outside, Steph Kramers on the inside. A little bit of a wide moment would open the door for Luciano Wittfert and for Grutter to come through, as coming into the pit lane, Alex Mosin from 3rd position, and then after that your race leader, leaving it quite late, dragging in Axel Vermeulen as well into the pit lane. But a tight fight for them as Vermeulen would leave the pit lane. He'd come out comfortably ahead of Alex Mosin, just in the background there. Hout was on the charge. Inside of Zabdir was the next target for him for about 6th position on the road. He'd send it in as hard as he could. A little bit of side-by-side of the contact, a little bit of a door bang to try and guarantee the position in the McLaren 650S, whilst behind Stredermans was having to worry about the charge of Luciano Wittfert. And by the time they got to the kink, he would lift out in that Audi R8, and Luciano Wittfert would move up another spot Big drama late in the race. Alex Mosen running in third position with a big spin coming through the first corner into the barrier. Surprisingly enough, the damage on the car slowed him down a little bit, but actually not that much. Final lap of the race saw Luciano Vitfort getting to the inside of Zabdir going through the final corner. He'd spin, he'd lose out both to Strettemand and to Grotta before they got to the line. And ahead of all of that, a massive lead, massive domination, and a massive first round for Max Pfeiffer taking victory ahead of Axel Vermeulen and Nico Sonau.